Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 13 of the Mingled Yarncast. I am your host, Stephen, also known as KnitFen on Ravelry and Instagram. And, well, Happy New Year. I know it's January 24th of 2024, but Happy New Year. This is my first episode this year, and I didn't mean for that to be the case. So sorry. So sorry. Things just got in the way. And in fact, this is the reason why I'm doing this today from my classroom, as you may have noticed, new environment. Several times so far in January, I've just had things going on the weekends and wasn't able to film. And then in evenings when I thought I would film when I got home and I'm like, just swamped and too tired. And let's face it, you come here for this bubbly energy. You don't come to watch me sit there on the couch and go, at least I hope you don't. I decided I would film today at school. Today is the last day of our semester. Well, that's not entirely true. It's almost the end of the semester. We turned our grades in today, though. And that was a big chore, but it's done. And I would give you a tour of the rest of the room, but I'm going to actually stick with this frame here because it's a mess. It looks like the end of the semester. And maybe in another episode, I will take you around the school. Maybe in another episode, I will even, if I can swing it with some media waivers, because I would have to do that, I might even be able to share some of the students who are in the our knitting and crochet club, if they're willing to participate. But not today. Today is not that day. Today, though, what I would like to do is kind of catch you up on some things that I'm working on, some things that I am thinking about, we won't call them New Year's resolutions. How about New Year's plans, things that I plan to do and will do. But I want to start off talking about some gifts because we are now past the Christmas season, and hopefully you got a chance to see several of the Vlogmas episodes I posted. There were not 25 or however many of them there are supposed to be according to the laws of Vlogmas posting. Wherever those laws are written, I have not read them, so I didn't follow them. But I had 4 videos. And each of them, touched on a few different things, but one thread that ran through it all was that I was working on scarves made with different blends of Kiviot from Windy Valley Muskox. And those skeins of yarn were gifted to me by Giovanna from Windy Valley Muskox. And I was blown away by the gift. It was such a nice thing to be able to work with those and to be able to turn those skeins into gifts for my mother and my 2 aunts. I think the last time I posted actually was on Christmas Day. Oh my God, so today's the 24th of January, so it was a month ago when I posted, almost a month ago. So I've since given them their scarves, and they really, really loved them. And I'm going to post a picture here for you to see, so you can see their smiling faces. And it was really, really great to be able to make those and to have the experience of working with such beautiful yarn. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Vlogmas episodes, I know that for myself too, I very much enjoy watching other people's knitting podcasts, but with so many Vlogmas episodes, I did not get to see everybody's, and there's a whole lot of them. But now that time has passed, if you didn't get a chance to watch them, maybe I'll try to link to one of them at the end of this video, so it will go there next. But check them out, especially the last one, because in that one I talk about all the different yarns that Windy Valley Muskox sent to me and kind of review the differences in each and what you might expect if you decide to work with them. And I really do suggest that you do. It's really special to be able to work with such a fine, like, quality material, but also just find the fineness, the finity, you know what I'm trying to say. The thread, the feel, the lusciousness, all of that. It was great to work with those. And again, thank you, Windy Valley Muskox, for that experience. And I hope that my mom and my aunts are wearing them now because we've had some very cold weather here on the eastern seaboard and in the Midwest, which is where they are. And I know that many of you watching this, if you're in the continental United States and probably other places as well, there's been quite a cold spell here. It has been a cold, wintry January. So let's see, other gifts. Okay, first up, I've got some old gifts to share. I'll go newest, most recent to the past. So most recent, let's see here. Well, maybe I should hold this up. How to present this? Oh, the dilemma. I'll show you the package first. So this is a package from Lemonwood, and this was a gift from my friend Rebecca Pitcher, who is an actress and a voice coach, voice teacher, who I sing with at St. Anne's Church in Hoboken. She's also a knitter and a crocheter, and she surprised me a couple of weekends ago with this. Now, what is this Lemonwood? You may have been seeing other people posting about Lemonwood, or maybe you follow Lemonwood themselves on Instagram and other social media. They make these gorgeous, hold on, these gorgeous yarn spinners. That's not the right word because that sounds like you're spinning the yarn. No, this is a device. Doesn't that look medieval, like an astrolabe or some kind of compass or something? It's very cool. This is a device for, there we go. You place a cake of yarn on here. So it sits on the little thing, the little plate. You put it around your wrist. Let's see here. There we go. And imagine a cake of yarn here. Imagine me knitting away. Imagine this spinning as you go. And voila. You have this very, very beautiful, functional, just artisanal device, and it's so simple and it's so pretty. And I've seen other people posting these about similar things over the last year or so. I know Irina from Fiber Chats has one that she really loves and has used. But this is really taking it to a new level. This is a work of art all by itself, and I am kind of in love with it. Now, the project that I'm working on at the moment, I'll show you in another moment. It's not suited for using this right now. It's a big sweater project with lots of colors, and they change a lot. So I haven't really worked with this just yet. But I think for the next project, I'm definitely going to want to work on something small and quick, and maybe a sock or maybe a hat. And I think something that I can just have an excuse to use this and walk around with it. Also, because it's a sweater project, like having something big dangling from the needles and this in the way, probably not the best. But a small hat, small sock, I'm really looking forward to it. So again, this is from Lemonwood. And I don't know what we call these things. They're new to me. But I really love it. And you know what's interesting? Okay, sneak peek. Take a look at these colors. I just realized something. Let me see if I can get this off of here and show you. Without this part in the way. Okay, there we go. These colors, the green and the purple and the aquamarine or the teal, whatever that is, are very similar to what I'm going to show you in more depth in just a minute. I'm just going to flash this across the screen so you can compare. Do you see what I'm talking about there? It's got all the same colors, even the green, although you can't really see the green in the sweater. But anyway, more on that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, Lemonwood, check them out. Look them up on your socials. And if you need a voice teacher, let me know. I will give your information to Rebecca. She does say she can teach you by Zoom. That's what I'm trying to say. Over you know, Zoom, Google, those things, the computer, this thing's what I'm trying to say. She can work with you over the computer. She'll teach you to sing. It'll be great. She has a beautiful voice. She's been on Broadway. She was Christine in Phantom. There, I just threw that up there and said I was trying not to brag about that, but pretty cool. She's pretty cool. So I'm going to start taking voice lessons with her too in February. So yeah, okay. Anyway, next gift. Let's see here. So I said it was going back in time. This is actually a gift from last Christmas that I never talked about. Not because I intentionally did not talk about it. I just didn't think about it, forgot about it. You know, nowadays I'm a little more savvy about thinking of content for videos and what to pay attention to and include, and I was less so before, so I didn't think about sharing this bag with you. But this is a gift from my aunt, Nancy, who was also, she's also my godmother, and she was also one of the recipients of a Windy Valley Muskox scarf this year. And she got the scarf from the yarn that I bought at Rhinebeck, the one that sort of got the project rolling. Anyway, this is a knitting bag. The brand, I guess you pronounce that Leudes? Leudes? Leudes. I don't know how you say it. But looks, you know, just like a bag. But it has so many cool features here that I have not clearly exploited yet. But there's this whole flap is for needles. You've got these little bands here, and they tuck into the pockets here. So this is all for needles. So is this, frankly. So you can have a ton of hooks and needles up here, little pockets for notions of all different kinds. So that's handy. Hold on. Getting to the good part. Inside, well, you can see some of the yarns I have here. It's super deep. You can get a ton of yarn in here. There are these individual pockets for all of your different yarns if you want to keep them separated, which I do for this project. I'm going to show you in just a minute the Fair Isle piece that I'm working on. This has been great, actually, for keeping all of them separate. Because as you know, if you've done a lot of stranded color work, things get twisted and tangled up. So having an individual place here and just sitting there with the bag open and pulling out what I need without having them roll around and get in each other's way, that's been a huge, huge help. So I love that. Additionally, there are more pockets, and there are more pockets, so there's no end to the number of things that you can store in here. And it has this feature that I have not exploited yet, and I won't for this project, I don't think. Maybe I should try it out. So on the side here, there are these little holes. That's my finger poking out, and I'm sorry if my phone is buzzing and being loud. Let me turn that off. Silence you. Okay, there we go. So we've got these holes here. You can run your yarn through it, obviously. And I haven't used it because I'm changing colors so much. And frankly, there are 6 holes here. There are 7 yarns. And, well, you know what? I'm coming up with excuses. I guess, actually, it wouldn't matter. The only trouble would be trying to put everything back in here and having the yarns cross over into the zipper. So if you want to zip it shut, which I have been and you may want to, then that's not the best because I'm not going to snip the yarns every time that I'm done with the colors that I'm on. But I could see that being very functional in the future, especially if I'm doing socks or something really small. It zips shut. It has straps for the backpack. It is very ergonomic and really comfortable. In fact, I wore it today as I came into school, and it was way more comfortable than my regular backpack. So sits a little high on the back, which is good. It's not, lugging you backwards. And yeah, I really recommend it. It's a beautiful bag, and I intend to use it more than I have, quite frankly. So this, again, the Leudes bag. However you say it, it's really nice. Okay, third gift is actually one, third gift might possibly be my very first gift ever. And I say that because it was given to me at birth from my mother's cousin. And this is kind of cool, and it is very relevant, I promise you, because you see, it's my Christmas stocking. Why am I showing this to you now? Because when I was home for Christmas, this has stayed at my mom's house forever, and this year she was like, you know what, you need to take this with you. And I said, no, you need to keep it here. It belongs here. I have a home here if my stocking is here. And she was like, you have a home here anyway, take the stocking. I was like, well, okay. So I think she just wanted less stuff around. But anyway, so the thing that's really cool about this, okay, well, there's lots that's cool about it. First, you have the year I was born. And then, of course, you've got Santa Claus. He had a little bell there attached to his hand. That fell off at some point in time. This lovely little sequined Christmas tree. And, but the really neat thing is that, so in this, I don't know when it first started, actually. My mom has a stocking just like this, too. I think what happened was her grandmother, I need to get the proper story, but I believe her grandmother made these for all the kids in her generation. And then one of her cousins took it up and began making it for all of the kids in my generation, although I don't know that everybody got one. I'm at the older end of my generation, so those of us closer to that end, the 70s end, we got one. And I have seen from Instagram posts, oh, little bell. I've seen from, or not Instagram posts, Facebook posts from family members that there are others now who are toddlers and that age who are getting these. And I don't even know who's making them anymore. The family has expanded a lot. I don't even know the names of everybody anymore. But anyway, yeah, so it's a family thing. It's not only is this particular one my own personal treasure, but just the pattern itself, which one of my mom's cousins did give to me a couple of years ago. I have not made one myself, although as you can see, it's fairly basic. It's just a great big sock. It's just a big tube. But anyway, yeah, I have the pattern for it, and I think I need to put that in some kind of form that can be shared more widely with everybody in our family so that this can live on, because it's a cool tradition to have, and just a cool thing to be able to pass on, not just the object itself, the stocking, but the knowledge and the ability to create and to have the making of the thing pass on from one generation to the next. So there we go. My stocking. Now that I've shown this to you, it can go in the box until next Christmas. I've kept it out, actually. I put the tree and everything else away a couple of weeks ago, but I kept this out because I'm like, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to show people this, and finally doing it. So that's good. Okay, I think that's it for gifts. What else do we have to talk about today? Things that I'm looking forward to this year. As I said, plans for knitting this year. I've got lots of plans of all kinds, but I'm only going to talk about the knitting ones today because, you know, I'm not going to use this place as my personal journal to just tell you everything that is going on in my life in full detail. You can send me a private message if you want to know more. But anyway, knit-wise, here's what I'm looking forward to. So, first thing first, I want to post more video content. I enjoyed the Vlogmas experience of getting, again, not every day of December, but the fact that I got 4 things out in December, I liked that. I liked that they were a little shorter, a little more bite size. You didn't have to spend so much time watching them, and I didn't have to spend hours making them, so that was really nice. So expect more things, maybe perhaps a little bit shorter, you know, with the occasional lengthy video there. The other thing that I want to do with regard to videos is invest in some better equipment in terms of not just the cameras to film with, but more the sound and the mics. I tested this out a little bit before sitting down to film, and you know, I can tell that the sound quality as I'm filming here in my very resonant classroom is not the best. But I can also, well, I want to get something that will make that better. And I guess there's no reason to be secret about this, but um, back in November, this channel was monetized by YouTube. Ooh, that was kind of a milestone. If you don't already know this, with 1,000 subscribers and with 4,000 hours of watch time, you too can have your YouTube channel monetized, whereby you will make a little bit of money as part of their ad partnership program. So if you're seeing more ads in these videos, that's why. I apologize for that, but I guess I don't, because at the same time, it gives me a little bit of cash. And when I say a little bit of cash, I mean a little bit of cash, because since November, it's in roughly 2.5 months, um, I let's see if I've cracked $17 yet. Um, nope. I've got 1682. That's how much money I made. And guess what? They don't pay you until you reach 100. So I've got a few more months before I reach that milestone of actually getting paid. But when I do, I want to invest some of that money back into the equipment for the channel so I can make things a little bit nicer around here. Clean this place up a bit. This frame of the screen. I want it to be a little nicer for you. So that is the plan there. I want to this year publish at least one design. I've started on a couple of patterns, writing them out, with the socks that I've done, some of which I've shown here. I've started another sock and a new kind of design. I've been having lots of fun just playing around with designs, but when it's come to writing them down, I have stalled a bit. I don't know. I get a little bit nervous. So I think I need, I just need to do it, frankly. But I need, I just need to do it. I need to do it. So I'm going to do it. That is the plan. And not for the year. I need to do that in the next month or two. And get that up so that something is posted and ready to go and ready for other people to make, and just share that creative output with everybody as well. That is what I want to do. I want to attend a few more festivals and yarn and knitting events. As you know, I've gone to Rhinebeck and everything that's associated with that area in October. But I really haven't done a whole lot else. I haven't even been to all of the local yarn stores in New York City. That's something that I should actually put on my to-do list, my check-off list. I need to do that. And I need to travel around and see a few more things. So this week, some of you may know this, some of you may be here in New York City, actually. This is going to be the weekend of Vogue Knitting Live, and I've never actually attended it, and I'm only sort of half attending it this year. I'm going to be able to attend on Friday to go to the marketplace, but I'm occupied this weekend, so I won't be able to attend things more fully and take classes. But if you don't know what Vogue Knitting Live is, it's a multi-day event here in New York, in Midtown at a hotel. I want to say the Sheraton, but I could be wrong. Probably shouldn't say that, because if I said the wrong thing, they'll be mad at me. But no, it's in New York at a hotel, big conference center. There are, I want to say, hundreds of classes that you could take. And I don't think that I'm exaggerating, because over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there are more than 50 classes a day. Way more. I mean, yeah, it's hundreds. There's hundreds of classes, and a great big marketplace. And like any other kind of fair, you see a lot of the same people. So it's a chance to meet up with friends and say hello. And anyway, like I said, I will be kind of going there for the marketplace and to just see who's around, but I won't be there too long. But I do want to try to get around a little more this year, and at least do some of the things that are kind of local on the East Coast that won't take too much effort to get to. I want to do it. I want to see some more things. With that in mind, of course, I do still plan to go to Rhinebeck, and my big goal this year, now that I've given my mother and my aunts their scarves and told them all about the experience, I want them to come with me. So I'm trying to turn it into a big family trip. because they're all in Ohio and Kentucky. So I want them to come out here and experience the New York Sheep and Wool Festival magic. They, at this point in time, do not knit or crochet, but I know them, and I know that they will love it. The atmosphere and the fun of it, and the animals and the outdoors, and then, of course, the regions, exploring the Hudson Valley. Who doesn't love that? So that is a goal as well. In terms of things to make, last year I did a lot of shawls. I did a lot of socks. I did not do many sweaters or things like that. The year before that, I seem to have done more sweaters. So my sweater wardrobe is growing, has grown to include 6 or 7 that I've made myself, but in the last year, I haven't really added too much to it. So I plan to do more sweaters this year. This will be the year of sweaters. And with that in mind, too, I also want to try to make patterns I want to make sweaters and projects using patterns and designs from designers that I have not worked, whose designs I've not worked on or with before. I don't know if you find this to be true for yourself, but there are certain designers whose designs you like, projects that you enjoyed making, and when you do, I should say, I tend to stick with what I know and who I like. So that has meant that I've done a lot of Stephen West, and I've done a lot of Maxim Cyr, and others, people that I like, and I know what I'm going to experience when I'm working on their piece. I know how they phrase things. I know how they describe, step by step what to do, and I like the things they design too as well. So there's that. But there are lots of designers and designs that I like, and I want to have more experience with more of them. So that is on my list. I think it'll be good for me to see how others format their designs as I continue to think about how I want to design my own things. So yeah, there's that. It's a learning process all around. Okay. Let us see now. One more thing for this year, one more plan. And it's something that I've mentioned before and people have been asking about, a book club. So yes, we're going to do a book club, and this is not the episode when I'm going to talk in depth about it. But I have got the book, and I've been reading it and taking notes and coming up with questions and things. And within the next couple of weeks, certainly within February, I will be having an episode that's really just kind of dedicated to talking about how this book club will work. And what I figured out, and in previous episodes, I've asked people what their thoughts were about how to format it. I think what I will do is there will be perhaps 2 Zoom meetings, at least 1, maybe 2, where everybody who is taking part in the book club will join by Zoom, so we can all have a live chat together. But as we're going through the book itself, trust me, it's not going to be too long, maybe like 3 different weeks, I'll post videos talking about different sections and posing questions and opening those to people so that there can be a conversation that happens in the comments of the video. And that will lead up to a culminating Zoom call, Zoom event, where we chat in person about, all of it. And and who knows, maybe there'll be prizes. We like prizes, don't we? I'll work some of that in there, something fun. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, I promise you. So more on that to come. But that's roughly how I see it working. It won't be a huge time commitment other than reading the book and showing up for 1 or 2 Zooms, again, if you want to. Otherwise, you can just read the book and comment and respond at your own leisure as you go. And that'll be coming up soon in the next few weeks. Okay, so let us see. Now we are to the WIP portion, and I have a pair of socks which I forgot to put in my bag today, but they are there's only one and it's not complete, but I'm to the point of turning the heel, so I was planning to show you the body of this thing, But I guess that's going to wait till the next episode because I didn't bring it. But I did bring my Fair Isle pieces that I've worked on. And so these are all with the yarns that I purchased from the Scottish Yarn Festival, from Ava at the Scottish Yarn Festival. And I first saw Eva and her yarns at Wool and Folk in, not in Rhinebeck, in Catskill, New York. Yeah, back in the fall. And I really loved all of her yarns. And so I ordered quite a bunch online, a sweater quantity of different colors, because I knew that I wanted to do something Fair Isle and I wanted to do a vest. And I liked the colors, and then it was a matter of figuring out what to make with them. And I did say to you, I know, I'm going back on my word, I said that I was going to make something using Alice Starmore's Fair Isle Knitting Manual. And I may do that one day, but I began to realize as I was going through that manual and thinking about it, I was like, Stephen, you have never actually done a full-sized Fair Isle garment. All I've done is hats. More on this soon. And gloves. So, I mean, I've, practiced the technique, but never in a big way. And I've never steeked anything. And most of these things require steeking. So it might be better to follow a pattern and let somebody more expert than myself tell me what to do. And I quickly found this pattern. I'll put the color version of it up too, but I have the printout for myself to use. This is the Fall River Vest by Mary Jane Mucklestone. And as you can see there, it's kind of got how many rows repeat is this? 42 rows repeat. And 7 different colors. And when I saw that, I thought, well, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I was very, very excited for it, and I knew that this is what I wanted. So maybe in the future, maybe the next project, once I know how to steek a thing, then I will perhaps try to go on my own and make my own Fair Isle pattern, but not today. So then I was still left with a conundrum. And that is, of course, I've got all of these beautiful yarns. What do I do with them? What order do I put them in? How do I organize this thing so that the colors make sense, so that the piece looks good, so that there's harmony, balance, and all of that? And so, having watched enough Fair Isle demonstration videos and interviews and things like that, I knew that one of the best ways to experiment and to get the feel for the yarn was to make a hat, since you've got to make something in the round anyway. And you want to kind of go enough times around, or make it big enough so that you can see the pattern unfold. I mean, you don't want to just do that chart one time. You got to see it a few times so that you can see how it expands as it goes. So I did that, and I had a vision, I had a theory in my head, which after making this hat, which I'm going to show you in a moment, but after making it, I abandoned my theory because I saw that it was misguided, and here is why. So here's the hat, and truth be told, it's an attractive hat. However, it's small, it doesn't really fit my head. I have not dealt with that mess of ends to weave in, but should I give this as a gift, I will do that, but I don't really plan to wear it by myself too much. But anyway, first thing, I wanted to play with using stranded colorwork in 2x2 ribbing, and that's what's going on here with the brim, if you can see that. Okay, so I've got a green and a blue, and it's 2x2 ribbing, as I said. And well, you can see this yourselves. It doesn't behave like 2x2 ribbing, not what you're expecting it to do, right? Because the yarns, as they pool in the back and push out at the front, you don't get the ribbing creates a ribbing. I don't know what else we can call it. The springiness. That's what I want. The springiness. The here, there's no springiness. There is just, there's the back. I mean, it's very pretty. It's very attractive, but that's not what I wanted. Not that that matters too much for the sweater project. It doesn't call on me to do this, but I've seen some other things and I thought, let me just try that. I mean, the effect could be fine for something else, but not for the ribbing of a sweater. It doesn't behave like ribbing. So that was the first thing I learned. I did not want to do that. Second thing I learned was that I had initially thought, I had initially thought that so I've got a group of warm colors, oranges and reds, and I've got a group of cooler colors, blues and greens. And then there's also a grayish brown that's in there too. I thought that I would keep the darker colors together and the lighter colors together. So the warm and cool dark colors are this maroon and this very dark blue, aqua, teal, turquoise. And then the lighter ones are this bright red and the light blue. But you might be thinking to yourself as you're looking at this, he has to point those out because I can't really see them. And that's true. Even in person, it's really hard to see. And, well, as you can probably see, as I pull this back, you don't really see the pattern appear on this. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, so this is why we swatch. I realized I needed to reverse the color order. So warm and cool, but the darker version of the cool with the lighter version of the warm, and then reverse them. So that I then ended up with this bit. And this I like so much better. Although I did further, I did further amend it later on. I'm going to get this just right for you. Okay. So now, if you see here, I took the dark blue and the lightest orange, and it goes blue, dark to light, from the blue to the center. And in this center, I use the grayish brown. So it's blue, green, gray, brown, green, blue. And then for the motif, these lozenges and X's, this goes with the from the light orange to dark orange to maroon. And that reads a lot better. Maybe not on the video. I can't really tell. Oh, my computer's brightness went down. Maybe this helps me. Okay, actually, I think you can see it pretty well. But anyway, yeah, I liked this so much better. However, I then thought to myself, this brown, gray brown, it's kind of washing things out, and they're not popping. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll use the blue, the light blue, which you see here. I'll put that in the middle when I actually do the sweater. So once I figured this out, I thought, okay, well, now I know what I want to do. I'm just going to finish this off, and I just used a little bit of solid colors. I wasn't going to worry about the patterns anymore after that. But I'm very grateful for this hat, but I'm not going to do much more with that because now here is what I have begun and what I've discovered. And look at how much nicer that is. But oh my God, I needed to swatch first. I needed to figure this out, but I love it. I don't know if you love it too, but I love it. I'm really excited about it. And it's curling down because the needles are a bit small. Let me see if I can get myself up here a little better. Okay. So I've now gone through the chart one full time, all 42 rows. And so it begins with this little bit of this line of Pearies of just X's and O's. And then the two bigger stripes, they're not repeated. It might look like the same thing, but no, it's not. If you look where the X's are, let's see here, on the top row. This is hard to show you, actually. Okay, this X here, that is different than down here, which is not really an X. It's kind of like two triangles. I keep looking at it looking like a flock of birds. But anyway, going back a little bit. On this first row where it has the the orange and red as the background and the blues and greens as the motifs. I look at that and I see, I don't know, I just see the earth, I see elements, I see fire, I see birds, I see all of these shapes and colors playing in a really fascinating way with each other. And then it's bordered by this next row of periods. I noticed, I think this is brilliant in the, and this is how the pattern is written. I didn't choose this color order, but it has well, in my version, the gray brown and then the blue, and then at the top the blue and then the gray brown, so that the stripe of orange is bordered by blue on each side, but then the blue will be bordered, once it's completed, by the gray brown. And yeah, and that will continue throughout. So then on this one, of course, you know, with the blues, I'm seeing oceans, I'm seeing fireworks, I'm seeing water, I'm seeing, I don't know, green gardens and all of that. And together, all of this, I mean, this is just, it's a symphony, isn't it? It is a symphony of color. And it harmonizes so nicely. And I am not the type of person who experiences what I think, don't they call it synesthesia? Where people who have the ability to look at color and hear sound. I'm not that person. But I did have the experience, especially when I was swatching, when I settled on the colors that I liked the best, which were these upper version. I was like, I had the sensation of when you hear a chord harmonize, and it's just that, you know, like that final moment in a piece where everything comes together and you hear it, you feel it in your body. I did experience that. I could feel it, because this, by the way, I guess, let me grab it again. This made me feel agitated. Oh, and you may notice too, can you see the color that I left out? This, because the other thing is I had 8 colors, but the pattern only calls for 7. Originally, I thought I would, well, you know, I'll just swap something out here and there and put the 8th one in just so I use everything. And then I thought, nope, that's not going to work, because there's one color in here that I found I like very much by itself, but in here, it didn't play well with the other colors. It didn't play nicely with others. And it needed to go into timeout for that reason. And it's the red. It's that red, to me, just, I don't know. It was dominating. It was taking over, and it wasn't letting everybody else have their turn in the color scheme. So I left it out. No bright red here, only the maroon. That's as close as you're going to get. And I'll find another project one day for that red. It has its place, but not in this piece. No, this is, it's a medieval map, isn't it? It's a medieval map. It's a Chagall painting. I love it. I really, really love it. So I'll be working on this for a while. You'll probably see me post about it or talk about it in a video one more time before it's finished, because one time through all of this took me over a week. And I think by the time, let's see, it's at my waist. I've got to go at least 2 more times through the chart before I get to the arms. And then it'll probably go a little faster, because then I'll start doing decreases and those types of things for the V-neck and everything else. But in any case, it's going to take some time, but time is what we have for now. And I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Did I have something else to show you? I don't have anything else to show you, but I do have a book recommendation. Okay, I said I wasn't going to show you all of my books, but here, just see how messy that is. Oh, why did I show you? I shouldn't have shown it to you. It's a mess. But there's a lot of books, a lot of things I could recommend, but what I'm going to recommend to you, sorry about that. What I'm going to recommend to you is this. It is a new book. I don't have it with me, and actually, in all this room full of books, I don't have it, so I'll show you a picture. But the book is called The Dangers of Smoking in Bed, by Mariana Enriquez, and she is an Argentinian author. And I picked this book up because in the past, actually, I do have a copy of a different book. Hold on. Mexican Gothic. If you've not read Mexican Gothic or anything by Silvia Moreno Garcia, I recommend it. I thought it was fun. Now, I've recommended to some people and they loved it. They loved it, loved it. And I've recommended to others and they're like, oh, I hated that. So it's polarizing. People seem to feel one way or another about it. So if you are okay with reading something you might not like, go for it and let me know what you think. But anyway, Mexican Gothic came out a couple of years ago, and I have taught it to my seniors as something sort of fun and new to read, and we look at it in the tradition of other Gothic literature like Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre and Rebecca, and kind of place it in that context and talk about what it draws from those other works and what it now adds to the genre. So I wanted to pair something new with that as well, and in the fall, we saw The Gardens of Annuncia at Lincoln Center, which is by, it's about Graciela Daniel, who is an Argentinian choreographer and director, and it's her life story. So we saw this musical, and we learned a lot about Argentina and sort of the history and the politics and everything there of the 20th century. So I wanted something else to read that would connect both that play and this book, and I found The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez. And it's a collection of short stories, and they are pretty good. I did not use the whole book. If you read that book, you're going to be like, Stephen, you shared this with your class? No, I didn't share the whole book. Some things are a little bit racy, but not all of them. And some of the stories, all of the stories are great, and some of them were paired very nicely with this book, and it was quite an enjoyable read and fun to share something very, very new with everybody, because I like to keep it a mix of the old and the new, and to think about how different works talk to each other across time, and looking into the authors that have inspired an author like Silvia Moreno Garcia, who has said flat out that she loves things like Jane Eyre, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, just seeing how these works take new shape over time and the things that they inspire. So that was fun to read, fun to teach, even though I only taught one story from the collection, but I read the whole thing. And for you all, for my adult friends out there, you may really enjoy it. However, if you don't like horror and you're not okay with a little uncomfortable topics, maybe stay away. There are some moments in there that just made me go, ooh, cringe. But it's to a purpose, because these are all coming out of a very dark period in time in Argentine history. And they, are blending the real life horrors of the moment with things that happen supernaturally in really cool ways. But again, some of them pretty cringy ways too. So if that sounds like it's your cup of tea, then go for it. If you are looking for something more classical, here's where I could use your input, actually. I don't know if I can say too much about this project that I'm working on, but I've been asked to write a few lessons to deal with Chekhov, with the plays of Anton Chekhov. And let me grab this book here one second. There we go. In so doing, there are a couple of things that I plan to talk about and or to make lessons around. One of those being the fact that Stanislavski was very much influenced by, or his method develops a lot from working with the plays of Chekhov. They go hand in hand with the Moscow Art Theater. But one thing that I've learned in reading his biographical information and watching things online is that I didn't know this, but Chekhov is really considered like one of the fathers, granddaddies of the short story. And this hefty tome is a collection of short stories. So I want one lesson to go along with, or had something to do with his short stories and getting students to read them and respond in some kind of creative way. However, I'm very new to him. I'm very new to his stories. I suppose you probably all have this. Here's something you can put in the comments. Who's somebody, who's an author you really should have read at this point in your life but have not? Or what are some movies that you really should have seen at this point in your life but have not? And it doesn't matter how embarrassing they are. You can be very, very honest. I will tell you, I have never read really any of the Russians. I've never read Tolstoy or Dostoevsky. And I have never seen any Godfather movies. Not one. I know. I live in New York. I should probably see The Godfather. I'm not avoiding it. I'm not trying not to watch them. I just haven't watched them yet. And then when I think that I should, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. And I'm not anywhere near where I can watch something. And then when I am, I don't think about it. But anyway, so Chekhov. My question for you is this. If you are somebody who is very well-versed in Russian literature, and in particular Anton Chekhov, then what are stories that you recommend? Do you have a favorite? Do you have any that you think would really resonate with high school age students? Because there's a lot of them here, and there's no way that I'm going to read all of them before I need to write up these lessons. So a little bit of, helpful guidance and suggestion is very, very welcome. So please let me know in the comments. So that's my recommendations for you. You can make recommendations to me. We will all help each other out here. And that is the end of this episode, I think. Yeah. So until next time, everybody, be well. Oh, and if you are at Vogue Knitting Live, say hi. I will only be there on Friday, but I'll be walking around the marketplace. So, come hunt me down. I'll be there. Probably for the first, I think it opens at 5, and I'll be there at least for an hour and a half. So, yeah, come find me then. And you can let me know in the comments if you see this in time to let me know to look for you. Okay? Be well, everybody, and I will see you next time.